No, for sure, man. 216 love, man. We doing no. Hey, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm always tuning in. Hey, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm always tuning in. Hey, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm always tuning in.
What's going on, y'all? Y'all already know what it is. This is Tunensports. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Shout out to everybody on the playback, man. We got to talk about it real quick, man. Yeah, man. I was supposed to have went live yesterday, man. My bad too, man. For the people that was waiting. My fault on that, man. Things come up and stuff like that, but uh. I decided I had to go live today, man. I know we got Boston coming up, man, and I just wanted to just talk about, talk about two guys real quick, man. I don't plan on being on here for too long, but I wanted to talk about these two guys. And again, we have the Boston Celtics coming up. That's gonna be yeah, that's gonna be a good one, man. But just not trying to stay too long on the Cavs and the Magic, man. Because I didn't talk about it, but that Cavs and Magic game, man. Um, the Cavaliers dominated the Orlando Magic, man, and I don't really expect differently, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect nothing different coming from the Cavaliers, especially against the Magic, man. The Magic is a solid young team. They solid. But it's just like levels, man. But the way the Cavaliers was able to dominate, of course, they didn't have Jalen Suggs and Cole Anthony. I think left the game right later on. But it didn't matter if they had them guys or not, man. The Cavaliers was gonna beat the crap out of them, man. It's just like the Magic is just not the same table with the Cavaliers, man. Mind you, Cavaliers didn't have our guy Darius Garland out there, um, who been out, right? Who been ruled out. So yeah, no DG. But when you got a guy like Todd Jerome, who's your backup, PG basically, it really makes up for Darius Garland production, man. It really makes up for it, man. But just thinking about the Cavs and the Magic, that game we matched their physicality. We got physical with them, man. Max Drew set the tone, and yeah, man, they definitely made more threes in the Magic. Something the Magic struggle with, man. Magic shot like 17%. That's not good. That is not good, man. And we dominated them on the boards and stuff like that, man. But it's just simple, man. Threes are more than twos. Um, and the Cavs are the best 3-point shooting team in the NBA, man. You want to argue the Boston Celtics? They live by that three, go ahead. But the Cavaliers, statistically and to me, is the best 3-point shooting team to date. But yeah, we put up 122 on Orlando Magic, who got a top 3 defense. But just not to be too long on it, right? Quick highlights from that game. You had Okoro, his defense, his activity on the floor. I loved it. and he even banged in some tough threes. I mean, what was it, like two threes, but it was some good threes, and he had a block on Paolo. It felt like playoffs from last year, man. It gave me that, yeah, that vibe, man. They got in each other face. Friendly competition, man. They competing out there. Another highlight from that game, Mobley, he had a big block. And then I think he was able to go coast to coast. He dunked on Jonathan Isaac. He had one of the best defenders, by the way. He dunked on him, made him fall, had him looking crazy on the floor, man. He had him looking crazy on the floor, man. But like Donovan Mitchell, he's playmaking. I know he only had about 5 assists, but him out there, whenever he passed the ball, like and make the right read, I'm always amazed by it, man. Donovan has become such a playmaker for this team, and for D Hunter and Todd Jerome, the the cheat codes, right? I feel like every bucket they do is a highlight. They special, So there are three things I want to talk about real quick. Um, Depth, the bench, and the bench basically ties in with the depth a little bit, I guess. And I want to talk about the time management. You know, so when you look at it, right, we blew the doors off the Magic. Yeah, and that was with Donovan Mitchell, right? Barely scoring. He had 11 points because we're talking about depth, the bench, and to have 11 points and still dominate how you did is pretty crazy, man. 2 years ago, that probably wouldn't have happened. I don't see us probably even winning that game, maybe. Usually Donovan would have to score the ball a lot. And just thinking about what this depth, the Cavs and Kenny Atkinson, this Kenny Atkinson team, it just balanced offense. The starters. Mobley had 17, Okoro had 8 that game. Allen 8 and Max shoot 17 points. He set the tone. And then you look at the bench guys. D Wade had 5, Tyson had 4, Tomlin had 2. I got us on a 10-day contract. And DeAndre Hunter had 17. Tristan Thompson 2 points, garbage time. Todd Jerome 20 points. Sam 5, Javante Green 4, and Craig 2 points. So every Cavalier basically scored on this team. Now the bench points, we talking about the bench. The bench points wasn't even close. The Magic had no one on that bench. They gave you nothing compared to what the Cavaliers gave you. The Magic had like 13 to the Cavaliers 61 points. Not close. And this is why depth matters. Shout out to Kobe Altman, man. Shout out to Kobe Altman. The guy he's been a genius when it comes to, making his roster, the makeup of this roster. As a front office, you build out your roster the best way you can because you never know. You never know when an injury happens, that can affect the team. And if you're a team like the Cavs or the Thunder, your depth is just so amazing that it can cover what you may lose in production. So filling out your depth definitely matters, man. You don't want to be, just have, be top heavy and all that, man. In this era, man, filling out this whole, having this big three, filling out your roster, man, it matters, man. Having other guys, weapons that can come off the bench and produce when other guys are out. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Like it really matters in this day and age, right? So going to thinking about Todd Jerome and DeAndre Hunter, these two guys is coming off the bench for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And to me, it's not fair. I believe they are cheat codes. It's not fair with these guys, man. It's just not fair. When you got 2 6 men of the year players who will probably be finalists most likely on your team, That's pretty amazing. That's pretty crazy. Ty Jerome and DeAndre Hunter are cheat codes for the Cavaliers. It's not fair. It's just not fair. Y'all remember the GTA cheat codes? It's cheat codes for a lot of games, back in the day games. But you remember the GTA cheat codes, the San Andreas, to whoever played it out there, man. Them cheat codes, you had written on a piece of paper and stuff like that as a kid. Just typing in them cheat codes, man. The combination, man, up, down, da 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 da. That's what I look at it with DeAndre Hunter and Todd Jerome, man. I feel like they are cheat codes. I feel like Kenny Atkinson uh, got a piece of paper, just fill it in. They are cheat codes coming off the bench, man, because they had 2 6 man a year candidates coming off your bench who could be starters. Is just not. I don't think that's fair for the league, man. If they was like to give the award to Payne Pritchard from the Boston Celtics, I would be upset because I think Todd Jerome deserves it because of the season he's been having, while also impacting the Cavaliers with winning. So we value winning success and his bounce back story from last season. We know we didn't even get a chance to really see Todd Jerome blossom to the play he is today because he went out with the injury, and had to required surgery. But we will want Todd Jerome to win it, but to be honest, he probably won't win it. You know, I would look more at DeAndre Hunter numbers because his numbers are better than Ty and even Peyton. And I'm talking about him in Atlanta, right? Him coming from Atlanta and coming over here to Cleveland. Atlanta, he was averaging 19, almost 20 points. Over here, it kind of dropped. Obviously, that was going to happen coming over here to Cleveland. His percentages are still up. His shot attempts, it might have went down a little, but everything else is good. Like he still have high percentages, and it looks better than Payne Pritchard. But like just having 2 6 man years on your team, I just think is crazy. Like that much firepower coming off your bench, that much firepower that's on your team when you already have other weapons on your team. Say a Sam Merrill, Jalen Tyson is he's a rookie, but he's nice. He's better than what people think, man. He's nice. You have other guys. Max Juice, I know he's starting, but Max Juice, if they want to swap Max Juice coming off the bench, that's a weapon. Dean Wade, like these are good guys, man. But having 2 6 man a year again, like having two players who are basically starters that's coming off your bench, just think about that, right? You have a 6'5" guard making up for the production of an absent Darius Garland, who made an All Star this season, right? Ty Jerome, the guy just plays at his own pace, and shoots from half court if he wants, man. Clearly, the guy has the green light. He he clearly has the green light, right? And Hunter, right? Hunter were averaging almost 20 in Atlanta because that's what they needed this guy to really do, right? They didn't, he's having a career year. They didn't need him to do the other stuff. They needed him to be the guy, doing this. And he don't have to do that basically here because we brought him in for his defense and his um we brought him in for his defense, but we also know his ability to shoot the three, as we've been seeing, lately, right? His ability to shoot the three, and you're just looking at his 7'2", 7'3" wingspan, allow him to just shoot over defenders, and just him being 6'8" and his defense to slow down other um, elite type players. Um, Cavs just have the best bench in basketball. I just think, yeah, I think we have the best. You might be able to argue that, right? But I'm just thinking about the year we having, man. So I might stand on that. OKC is cool, but I think I'm taking the Cavs, man. Just having these cheat codes, Todd Jerome, DeAndre Hunter, just coming off the bench for you, man. Yeah, easily, right? And then you think about 2, 3 years ago, we didn't have this. 2, 3 years ago, we didn't have this, man. You just think about Jetty Oz, like shout out to Jetty Osman, injured Ricky Rubio. Who else was off that bench? Lamar Stevens. Like it just didn't compare. Like it didn't compare, man. Of course, Levert was a good one, but it just didn't compare to now, right? Just looking at the bench, depth and bench, man, depth and bench, big thing, man. And Javante Green, adding Javante Green on the bench as well, and he also had a solid. I mean, it was a solid game, yeah. It was only playing about 5 to 6 minutes, yeah. Towards the end of the game, he had grabbed 4 points, that I loved. Him coming off the bench, him in transition and come to the basket. That's a something to look at. His ability to jump. It's gonna be something to see whenever he gets in. Of course, like we pretty stacked with this roster, but like just having him as insurance, was a big pickup, in the buyout market. Again, like shout out to Kobe Altman, man. We are talking about depth, and I think Kobe and company did a great job, man. We didn't see the vision in the off season, of course. We some of us was like all over the place. We didn't see the vision, but the vision is so much clearer now. And with Javante Green, Kenny Atkinson wanted him. Kenny wanted him. Kenny got an eye for talent. He know. Um, but the last thing that I want to touch on, right, is the time management, man. Um, that's the last thing. Cheat codes. We already talked about the cheat codes, right? But the time management, that was Kenny's plan, right? Before the season started. I think he has done a great job managing these guys playing time versus other coaches. No Cavs player and this Orlando Magic game, no Cavs player played more than 28 minutes. Evan Mobley had the most. What was that at 28 minutes? So yeah, Kenny Atkinson just being aware and knowing that you want your star players or your players to be rested. Donovan Mitchell, who only had 23 minutes, like you want him fresh for the playoffs, man. You want him not to get hurt. And thank God it hasn't really been no big injuries towards this Cavs team for the most part. The starters been more healthy, right? Been more available and stuff like that. We just realized the bigger picture, which is why we all in for this season. Why Kobe Allman and company made this trade to add a DeAndre Hunter and give up already good players that was who helped our success, of course, man. But this is it, man. And then you have Boston coming up, so that time management plays a part in that, man. You don't know. I think Darius Garland is game time decision, so hopefully Darius Garland is ready to go, man. Have these two fully healthy teams go at it. Hopefully, right? Hopefully we get to see that. But Donovan Mitchell, right? You didn't need Donovan Mitchell to play really in the Orlando game. And that's credit to the depth, man. The Cavs, when you have like when your star player can just like chill because he has other weapons on his team that can make up for the production. That's huge, man. And yeah, time management, depth, bench, those are important, man. Um, and yeah, and just to go back real quick, man. Um, I'll drop the link real quick if anybody want to join before I shut it down. But like I said, I had to make up for yesterday, man. I suppose I went live yesterday, but I didn't go live yesterday, man. But just to go back real quick, man, about DeAndre Hunter and Todd Jerome, man. Um, those guys, of course, they're gonna be huge. I just wanted to pull up their highlights, man. These guys gonna be huge, man. DeAndre Hunter, just look at him just shooting over Wendell. I think that's Wendell out there, man. Just having a guy that size, man. You got Donovan right here kicking it out to Max Struz. He's gonna pass it to Hunter. Just just his ability to shoot the three, man. Carrot, it's just different, man. Just seeing DeAndre Hunter. He's such a good 3-point shooter, man. Then Don, that's gonna be a long rebound. Yeah, he missed that. Give it back to Hunter. Hunter just letting it fly. Bang. It's just so fun watching DeAndre Hunter play, man. Ty Jerome gonna get a bump. That's in there. Ty Jerome loves the contact, man. It's like one of his favorite shots, man. It's a little floaters and getting the bump contact. Ty Jerome going again. Float off the backboard, man. All glass, man. Ty Jerome's such a high IQ player, man. Look at him, jazz step, three. Ready to grill a magic big man. I love Ty Jerome confidence. Yeah, jazz step. I love his confidence, man. I think that's the thing though. Confident when you have a coach that believe in you, man. Like even with Evan Mobley, the confidence, man. Confidence is key. Look at Ty Jerome just pulling. Like he got the green light. The man got the green light, man. Again, these guys are cheat codes, bro. Cheat codes. Shout out to my guy Joseph, man. I got Joseph in the building, man. Let me add Joseph in real quick. Shout out to my guy Joseph. Let me bring you up real quick, man. Yo, Joseph, you can hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother. Salute, man. How you
I
doing?
appreciate you having me on as always, man. I love coming up here, talking some Cavs
Yeah,
basketball.
I was supposed to went on yesterday, man, but I had some things come up, man. So I'm kind of late with it. But I said, I
No,
still
it's
could
all
go
good.
live, for the next game.
No, I wanted to come up, man. I think I love how you're hitting on Ty Jerome and DeAndre Hunter. I think they deserve a lot more credit for their value. I mean, obviously DeAndre just got here. We know how valuable he is, but Ty Jerome, I said on my show the other day, I don't know, outside of maybe this DeAndre Hunter trade, is there a more important acquisition Kobe Altwood's made? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think come postseason we're gonna really see how valuable he really is. 6'5", can play both ways, two-way player.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, he's made trades and stuff, but I mean, like pure free agent acquisitions. I think talk about another steal. I mean, we got him for nothing too, I
Yeah, you
believe.
didn't pay him much. Yeah, you didn't pay him a lot.
Yeah, I mean, then Golden State just basically threw him to the curb. So,
Right. He was on a
uh,
two-way contract, I think, with Golden State, if I'm correct.
yeah, that's he looks a lot better than a two-way player. So,
Right.
I don't. I mean,
Absolutely.
he
It's
looks like
crazy.
a first round pick. I mean,
Right.
maybe not lottery, but border
Man.
lottery. I mean, he's a solid role. I mean, a damn good role player.
I,
So
I would say I would say, in my opinion, he was especially what we got him for, he's a bigger pickup than the Yank. And I hate to say carriage, but I think so
I think
for
he is.
me.
I think he is the sixth man of the year to me. I don't know what guy's more valuable off the bench than him right now.
They're gonna say Payton Pritchard, bro, because Payton Pritchard, what he's doing in Boston, and Payton Pritchard he's nice. He's nice.
He's nice, but
He's nice.
I don't think Peyton Pritchard's been asked as much, has been demanded as much as
Hmm.
what we've asked Ty to do at times. And I mean, I'm looking at Peyton Pritchard. I got to look at his stats. I mean, what's his game high? That I mean, I'm trying to let's see. So 25, 28
What's
points.
good, Wally? Salute to you, Wally.
Uh, he's had a couple big games. I mean, but I've seen Ty Jerome go off like a starter multiple times in multiple games. I
Oh
mean, literally
yeah,
just take over
absolutely.
the game. I mean, this guy he could be a starting point guard in many other teams. Uh, I think he's a six man of the year. Plus, I mean, you've had, let's see, I'm looking at the thing. So Derek White's 56 games played. Drew Holiday's played 47 games.
Yeah, because you have to go by the games of them not starting as well. I know Todd Jones started, so you know.
Darius Garland 54 games. So I mean, it's about equal. I don't. I would still get the nod to Ty though. I just
I
think he.
would too, man. But the media, I don't know how to, the voters. I don't
Well,
know
there's
what they're
still a
gonna
lot of
do.
basketball. I mean, we just got done with
Yeah,
the All Star break. They lost last night to Detroit, so uh,
yeah,
there's
that
still a
was
lot of
a good
basketball to
loss.
play. But I think the way Ty is playing when Garland's out, I think that's what I would measure it by. Because that's really
Hmm.
the next man. That's the sixth man. It's the next man up. So I think Ty's just been a lot better. Personally, I don't. I mean, when Darius isn't there, it's not like you can't even tell he's not there.
Right, like it, and that's crazy.
And
That's
they just
that's.
played against two playoff teams, second team in the West, and a
Mhm.
team that took us 7 games last year without Darius. But there was no drop off.
Yeah, having a guy like that on the bench who's basically he could be a starter on another team. It's just crazy. Your
Yeah, I mean, the
all-star
other
point guard is
four
out and he's
six
just
from
making
three
up
the
for
other
it.
night. 3-7 from three the other night. 66% from three. He's shooting 51% the entire month from three.
And do you see like where he's pulling these shots from?
Oh yeah, he's like pulling up a transition, step back on the
I'm
was it
like,
the one guy I
man,
broke down the one play, did a step back over Brandon Clark, who's got a pretty tall dude. I mean, he's taking guys off the dribble. I mean, but I mean, to shoot 53, 51, and 87 for the entire month,
yeah, man.
I don't think Peyton Pritchard's doing that kind of impact personally. I mean, and then you look in February, or was it January? He shot 46% from three.
He always had, the high percentages. He's just good, man. I just can't. I'm not surprised anymore. Like we pretty much in February going to March. It's just I'm just like, yeah, that's Ty Jerome, man. Whenever he do
Yeah.
something spectacular, I'm just like, yeah, that's just Ty Jerome. That's what he can do. Like that's what he does.
Oh yeah, and he's
It's,
getting to the line a lot of games too. 6 attempts, 5 attempts. I'm looking at 3 attempts.
he
He's getting
he
to the line.
loves that contact. He loves that
Yeah.
floater and the contact from behind, where he's
Now
just
he
crafty
can
about
get a
it.
little turnover happy in some spurts, but not a whole lot. But I mean, you look at his numbers. Sometimes he'll have 4 game 3, but it's not like terrible. But overall, I mean, he's a pretty good, solid player. More than solid player. I think. I mean, like I said, I think he could be a starter on many other teams. He'd be my sixth man of the year. Maybe I'm biased, but I just don't
Well,
know. I
I
mean,
will agree with you, man. I would say I think Ty Jerome. I know Hunter just got here, but Hunter was already averaging 19 in Atlanta and stuff like that. He was having a big year over there. I say
well, and
Hunter and
I would
Ty
look at it
Jerome.
like this: Peyton Pritchard's a great player, right? We all know
Yeah,
that he's a really good role,
we
really
seen him.
good player. But would Boston still be Boston if they got rid of Peyton Pritchard? Because they still have the 5 other guys.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? If we got rid of Ty Jerome, some of the games he's helped win this year, I'm not saying it would be a bad team at all, but I don't. He's really good. I think his value to a lot of the wins has been really undervalued, and if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I think his impact. If you took Ty Jerome off this team, I don't know if they would be at the level they're at now,
No,
because I
he
don't.
definitely impacts it. He's another ball handler. He's another ball handler when Darius is out.
Yeah, Darius and Donovan's missed some time a little bit on and off this year. Not a lot, but a little bit. Uh, I just think when you have a guy where you can rest guys like Kenny X who wants to do it, and still have a guy like that to come in there, and there's no drop off. I mean, I don't. Like I said, I think if you took him off of this team and put him with a normal like regular backup point guard,
Hmm.
they may not be as good. People may not look at them as highly as they do, because
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't expect Craig Porter to step in and like if
yeah, he's
Craig
not
Porter was the backup, right? That we
right.
wouldn't have the same success.
No, I don't think we would. He's
And
not
I
shooting
love
step
Craig
back
Porter.
threes
Right.
and pulling up in transition, or he's not. He's only 6'1" too. So yeah, I totally agree. I think he if you took him off of this team, and I think that's why he should win sixth man of the year. I mean, that alone right there to me is okay. Yeah, he's the sixth man. It's like if Lou Will was the ultimate sixth man. If you take Lou Will off
Hmm.
a lot of those teams, they don't win as many games.
So Ty Jerome. So you think he gonna be looking for a bag, or like I know I know he's gonna want to stay, and
Yeah,
I expect Kobe to bring him back. I don't think he's gonna lead the Cavs. I mean, he's in a perfect situation, and his
and he's
buddy
with his best
DeAndre
friend
Hunter's
now
in
too.
exactly
Yeah,
with Jay Cavaliers. So it's just like
I,
you
I,
gotta keep him. You gotta make sure you
unless
keep
somebody can offer him more money. Let's say if who's gonna be a team that needs a
a
point
sucky
guard? Let me
team out
look.
there.
Let me look at the stand. I got to look at the team. Let me see who's going to need a point guard. Let's say Miami for say. If
Mm,
Miami comes to him and says, "Hey, we'll give you uh, $25 million a year, or whatever," I don't know, just throw out a number, and the
hmm.
Cavs come in at 23, and then Miami says, "Hey, you're also going to be our starting point guard." I mean, he going to consider it? Probably he should. I mean, if I'm his agent, if he's a good
Right.
agent,
I mean, yeah.
um, but I don't know. If I'm Ty Jerome, I think it might. Sometimes it's best for players. The grass isn't always greener.
Hmm.
Sometimes guys are in the right situations, they're in the right systems. We could probably go find many examples of guys who were in great situations or playing just like this, and they go get the money, which is nothing wrong with getting your money. I mean, you only play once. You got to get as much money as you can. I'm not going to knock a guy for ever just, getting his money. But we've seen, how many guys have we've seen? I can't think off the top of my head, but I could probably go look at my lifetime of guys who chased the greener, thought the grass was greener, and their career went down the tubes.
Yeah, the production become off, because they want the money.
Yeah, and they went to the situation where the fit wasn't as good.
Right. That's why you
yeah.
got to think about these things, staying in the perfect situation, man. Don't just chase. Well, chase the money. You come to the NBA, you want to get paid, but like, I think he's in a good situation with the Cavs, man. Pay the man. Give it a hometown discount. I'm pretty sure there's a team out there that's going to want to offer him after seeing what he's been doing. They're going to want to offer him money. That usually always happens, right? The player, they production, they
I
get
think
the
it
money
depends too how much. What does the NBA draft look like in terms of point guard depth this year? I don't know. I haven't looked into the draft yet because I've been so focused on the NFL draft, but that probably plays a factor a little bit too. If you're a team like Miami, I don't know what their cap is. They just traded Jimmy Butler. They're always going to try to get star players down there for agency. So they probably wouldn't pay him that kind of money because they don't want to jam.
I think they're trying to come off Terry Rozier. I don't think they.
They're not going to.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if there's really an ideal team out there. Maybe a team like Charlotte because they're always overpaying guys, and I don't know why anybody want to go to Charlotte.
Terrible situation.
Yeah, I don't know why you want to go there. Forget even going to play basketball. I don't know why you would go there. Period. But
right.
I mean, I drive through there to Florida, but that's about it. But or half, but not a bad city. But shout out to everybody in Charlotte. But you know what I mean? Like I just, if I'm a team like that, I'm like, well, I'd rather just go draft somebody and get him on a rookie deal. Because that's the only team that's going to overpay him. It's a bottom feeder team.
Yeah, exactly.
But why would they pay him that kind of money? I don't care if you're big market, small market, or whatever. You should if it's a good point guard draft, which I don't know if it is, but you should go pay that. You know what I mean? You get the guy in the rookie deal. It's like a quarterback in the NFL. You can go get a bridge guy and overpay him, but if you got the number 2 pick or whatever, you might as well just take the quarterback if you have a good one there. Get him on a rookie deal.
Right. Get him on a rookie deal.
So I don't know, but I think he'll re-sign. He's not going to leave DeAndre. In this team's just so close. I don't know if
Donovan Mitchell. That's it. They grew up. They was on the same AAU team.
Him and then Kenny Atkinson. I'm sure they probably obviously have a close relationship. I mean,
it's too much.
Point guard is always going to have a close relationship with the coach because he's the point guard. So I'm sure they have a close relationship, and he's the man too. I mean, he's never had this much attention ever since he left Virginia. So
he hasn't. This the most talked about Todd Jerome, I seen
someone he has because they're the Virginia Cavaliers. Someone he has Cavaliers on his chest. It
just makes sense, man.
It turns into a different animal.
Joseph, it's destiny right now.
Right.
I just think destiny.
I think guys fall into that too. But I if I was a player, I'd be like, yeah, I can go get more money. But you fit into a place so well. It's like you don't want to leave. You're the man there. Everybody loves you. The fans love you. And if you win. You know what I mean? You're a legend.
He's going to become a hero. Yeah, they win the championship.
Cleveland. I mean, Matthew Dellavedova was like the greatest thing since sliced bread in Cleveland. Delly comes back home. They throw a parade. They all stand up and clap in the, go Delly.
Yeah.
And Dellavedova, he has
the Curry style of Joseph.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what Dellavedova's known for. He's always been known as the guy who was a tough ass backup point guard, hustler. Went to the hospital that night when he put his body on the line.
That says a lot about I love Delly for that.
Yeah, and he's an NBA champion. You can't take it away from him. Winning a championship matters. I mean,
Delly. Look, Delly. We didn't. I think we didn't match the offer. Delly. That after the championship, Delly went to Milwaukee. I think.
Yeah.
At that time, they was paying guys, right?
Yeah, and I think the Cavs had an idea. I mean, they tried to go get Korver. They did get Korver, so they had to put some more money there on him. And I think the whole Durant thing, they just kind of had to make them panic a little bit. Plus, everybody back even in that summer in 2017, there was already rumblings that, like, I remember seeing one of I can't remember his name. He's one of the more longtime NBA reporter. I mean, all the way back in the day, everybody. Peter Vesey was on national TV saying, he's like, I heard LeBron to LA, it's a done deal, and this is summer before it even happened. So I think the Cavs had a heads up what was coming too, so they were trying to protect themselves financially because if LeBron's not here, you're not going to pay Dellavedova that kind of money.
Right, Kobe Allman, I think, did a sneaky Kobe Allman. He was strategic with his moves, with his stats, man. At that time, he was looking for commitment from LeBron. And LeBron was doing the one-on-one, type deals.
They knew he was leaving.
Yeah.
Everybody knew he was leaving. I mean, everybody knew he was going west. That was like the best. It was the worst kept secret. You know what I mean? Everybody.
I didn't want to accept it though. I was like,
I
no.
didn't either. But somebody somebody told me that I trusted, and I was 3 years before it happened, and I was thinking, oh geez, here we go again. But I'm glad he never traded that pick either. I remember everybody was trying to, Rachel Nichols and everybody was up there crushing the Cavs.
It wasn't nothing. It wasn't
nothing they could do about it.
Exactly.
Kyrie knew he was leaving, I think, and Kyrie wanted to get out from under his wing. And I mean, there's no way Kyrie didn't know. He's a Nike guy. He knew what was coming. So Kyrie's thinking, I'm going to get the hell out of town. Right. They all know what was going on. And they shouldn't have traded that 8th pick, and that 8th pick turned into Donovan Mitchell down the road. But nobody brings that up.
I love Colin Sexton, man. I got his autograph.
Oh, I loved young bull. I wanted them to take him. I loved Colin. Yeah, I still like him now. But that 8th pick eventually turned into him, and that turned into Donovan.
It wasn't nothing. So. It wasn't nothing with the trades that I was seeing. They said it was like names like Kemba Walker, DeAndre Jordan. I think I didn't see nothing that would make LeBron say, "Yeah, we're gonna stay and we're gonna compete."
Yeah, exactly. And I like what they did. What they've done since then, which is I heard. I was watching a local show today. And Jason Lloyd was on there. Obviously, he's pretty plugged in, and he made a good point. He was saying about how a lot of people would after LeBron left for LA, we would bring guys like Andre Drummond, J.R. Smith, and a lot of people would say, "Why are we running these guys out of town?" And he would say, "If we don't have guys that want to be here, are fully committed to Cleveland and bought into what we're doing,
right,
we're moving on from them," and it worked. And he was 100% correct. Why would you keep guys that are half-hearted or don't want to be here? And I think they learned a lot from that experience. And I think they learned that was their mentality going back to that summer when he left. I mean, I think they've said, you know what, we're going to get guys that we're going to develop our style, our way, our culture, the way we want to do it. And look where they are now. So, but nobody, I always bring it up because I don't think he doesn't get enough credit. They sat and trashed the guy when LeBron left. And then look what he does now. Now it's just like mama's the word.
The only thing I kill him about, and that's the only thing because I love what he's done with the team. The only thing I just push back on is that Kyrie deal. That's the only thing that I wish could have been a little different. Like taking back Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder, Ante Zizic.
I think the Brooklyn pick was what they were.
That was the they
knew LeBron was leaving.
Trade asset, yeah.
They knew LeBron was leaving. I think they were in a tough spot. The first deal he was going to do, though, somebody put Grasshopper, put super glad we never got. That was the original deal, was Paul George. But Paul George didn't commit because Paul George is a Nike guy, and Paul George probably got wind that, if I go there, it's only probably be a 1 year thing with LeBron.
Because LeBron wasn't like.
Yeah. He knew. So we would have had Paul George.
Bledsoe, and Melo, like them type guys.
Yeah, we would have had Paul George. The deal was done. And then, but OKC last minute, or I think it was OKC, or it was Indiana, excuse me, last minute backed out and said, because he said no. So I think they got put in the jam, and Kyrie was never going to put on a Cavs uniform again with LeBron at that time. There was some stuff that probably happened behind the scenes. It sounds like. I mean, I'm sure they're okay now, but back then it was.
Yeah, it's different.
It was a little rough.
He was younger.
Yeah, he was younger, a little more immature, which he's admitted. But
Kobe, his mentor. Kyrie, he was young.
Yeah, I think he was a lot of Shaq and Kobe-ish stuff. You know what I mean? And
right.
Because they really were the Shaq Kobe type of combo, big, small. I mean, LeBron's this big, giant Skywalker. Then you got Kyrie, who was a killer. That we had that combo kind of in a way, but I think the Cavs did the best thing they could do at the time, and I think Kobe Altman was put in a bad situation. I think David Griffin, he did a lot of great things, but I think there seems to be a lot of negative when he was here as well, in terms of just there was some dysfunction at times.
Yeah.
And obviously we heard when he left, LeBron, looks like him and LeBron's relationship kind of soured over the years, because I can't remember what David Griffin said recently. I remember it was like 3 years ago or 4 years ago. He said something. basically took a jab at LeBron. I can't remember what he said, but Kobe Altman was thrown in a tough spot. He inherited a mess. He had a superstar leaving. He had a bunch of old guys under contract, but he did it his way, stuck to the plan, knew there was going to be some rough years, but look at the reward. And so, but yeah, I think he don't get enough credit as he should get, in my opinion.
No, I agree. Yeah, he got killed for this off season because people did not see the vision. I mean, I understand. They didn't see the vision. The vision wasn't clear. With
Right.
him not making the moves, seeing everybody else make moves and sign Paul George. I get it. Like everybody signed these guys while the Cavs just re-signed their guys. And I always disagree. I said, you know what? I said I took it for what it was. I said, you know what, man? I'm gonna be a little optimistic. Kobe, he did make moves. He brought in a new coach. He fired JB. He brought in a great coach in Kenny Atkinson. He re-signed. He got his core four locked up for the next couple years, man. He drafted Jalen
Mm-hmm.
Tyson. Those are considered moves, transactions.
And everybody said Dan Gilbert's franchise always had this dysfunction, and there was all these terrible things going on behind the scenes. But clearly, that's not the case. Listen, I'm not going to call anybody's name out, but certain people left the organization, and things got a lot calmer. There was less chaos and dysfunction since certain people left. So, maybe it wasn't Dan Gilbert all the way. Maybe I think a lot of things were created in the media back then to keep pressure on the Cavs. It is. It's all game. But I think Dan Gilbert, the culture he's created. I know he's been less involved the last couple of years, and his son's been more involved. But there's not a lot of chaos. There's not a lot of drama. It's a pretty first class,
definitely different now.
organization. I mean, I don't. But I always bring it up. But I like what somebody said in the chat. That's a great example. Paul George chased the bag to Philly, and that has not worked out.
Yeah. He definitely, yes. That's a sticky situation, man. He got paid, man. I mean, I think he wanted to be a Clipper, but the Clippers, I don't think the Clippers really wanted him back.
No, I think just the injuries. They got tired of paying him.
Yeah, you already got Kawhi over there, who's
Yeah, he's halfway retired.
Yeah, so it's just like PG went to Philly. I mean, I don't think it was too many other options out there that was offering him. But Philly was dumb enough to give him the max. And right now it don't look like it's working out. You don't really when I look at Philly, I don't see no leaders over there. Like I don't look at Embiid as a leader, and I definitely don't look at Paul George as a leader. And Joel Embiid is kind of like similar to in a Kawhi's type situation because he's just never healthy right now.
Yeah, and then it's a revolving door. That's what it's been over there. This has been a revolving door. Embiid's one day he's there, next day he's hurt for a while. I mean, the only stability they have is Tyrese Maxey. That's it. And I like Maxey a lot, but that's the only stability they have.
Yeah, they team not. It don't do
It's
nothing
been
for
the
me.
process for 10 years. I mean, we talked about this the last time we were on. I mean, this has been, it's been the process for 10 years. I mean, at what point, when do you say, okay, the process stinks, we got to blow it up and make a new one?
Yeah,
I don't. If I was Philly, I would probably just this is not going to work. I mean, I'm not saying trade Embiid, but is Embiid, can he be your number one option on a championship contending team like Jokic can be? I don't know if he can be.
I don't know if that's gonna. I don't know if that's. I don't know. I don't like Jokic. No, I don't think so.
And Grasshopper nailed it in the comments. Maxey's going to want out. That's 100. Maxey, he's a Clutch client. Clutch and Philly hasn't had the best relationship over the years because of who runs Clutch now, Daryl Morey, or not who runs the Philly now. Excuse me, Daryl Morey. So Daryl Morey and Clutch have not had the best relationship. Is Daryl Morey still there? Or did he go to? Or he was in Houston?
He's still in Philly.
Yeah, he's still in Philly. I got a mixer second. Yeah. They don't. So eventually, Max is going to want out. That's 100% correct. Because everybody knows how Clutch rolls. If they want to move, they'll make a move. So,
what you think about this comment, Joseph? That Grasshopper said.
Yeah, that's what I was going to point out. I pointed out on my show the other day. I went back and watched that from 2 years ago, Grasshopper, that series. And a lot of the things we didn't have at that time, and just the way our style of play, the lineups we were running, the way JB did things, it's a lot different to who we are now. And I think when you watch that game, when we played them, was a Friday night with a DeAndre Hunter now, with an actual healthy backup point guard who is almost a starter, and Ty Jerome, just the style of play is a lot different. Guys have grown, or a lot. Mobley's evolved his game since then and just matured. Same with Garland and Allen. And I think even Mitchell's evolved his game. He's really taken an emphasis to be more of a playmaker this year, which I think he has to be for them to win a championship. Because some nights teams are going to double him, blitz him, and the shot may not be falling, but he's got to find different ways to be effective than just trying to force up 30 shots a game. It's like Mitchell can go out there 2 years ago against that Knicks team and drop 30 something points, but he shot 9 of 27. That's not a great game, So I think now they have just the balance they play with, and they have a Max Strus now. They didn't have Max Strus 2 years ago. But that picture I sent you too of DeAndre Hunter guarding Brunson 3/4 of the court. I mean, they can throw different things at him now. They got bigger guys they can throw at him now. They beat us up 2 years ago. They were much more physically imposing than us. They were bigger down in their depth. They had much more athleticism.
Wasn't as great.
Yeah, we didn't have the depth. We were small in a lot of areas.
Spacing was terrible.
Spacing was horrible. I mean, and just the play itself. I mean, I went when I pulled up a play the other day from that series. It was the game 4. Brunson went off. I saw a play where Isaac Okoro had the ball in the corner, and they just called an ISO in the corner for Isaac Okoro. And he drove baseline and damn near shut off. I don't know. I can't remember what happened. It was terrible. I watched that now, and I watched the execution back then, and the way they were using Mobley was just way out. They weren't utilizing Mobley properly. I think that's a lot of it, and they knew that. That's why they didn't blow this team up, because they know that it was really a lot of it was just coaching and maturity and depth. But they have the depth now. They have the coaching, they have the maturity, and they have the right system in place. And the way Evan Mobley he's the engine of the whole thing. And it's not really because of a lot of people thought his 3-point shooting and blah 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 and all that. I get that, but they're using him as a playmaker so much in this offense with just simple handoff and picks, dribble handoffs. They're with DeAndre Hunter, they're breaking him off curl cuts in the corner. And other ways too, getting guys open down in the post and post ups with smaller guys. Like when he's 6'8", so he's got a 6'4" guy like Landry Shamet on him the other night.
That's easy work.
Take him right down to the post, which he did. And Mobley's the one making the entry pass, because you could put Mobley at the 5. So now if I bring my 5 out to the 3-point line, look at all that space in the lane. We can cut through. We can get guys. Our guys we have can go 1-on-1. You get to the basket anytime off the dribble. Guys can cut back door. You can create open threes, So there's a lot of different things they're doing, and a lot of it's centered around Mobley. That's the first thing Kenyak did when he took this over, is okay, how can I center this offense around Evan Mobley and what he does well? Because he can do multiple things, and it's just not just his scoring abilities, but his playmaking ability is very underrated.
Oh yeah, of course. Him being that size, bringing the ball down and just handling the ball, like it's just he gotten better.
Yeah.
And Kenny Atkinson, like, just credit to Kenny Atkinson and the coaching staff, giving him the confidence, man. Let him be him, man. Let him be him, man.
And that's what that team didn't have 2 years ago, was confidence. The confidence wavered quickly. This team has confidence now, and they don't have to go out there and be bully ball like they were with us 2 years ago. The Cavs, they just know who they are. They figured out who they were. And it's like, when you have 2 7-footers that are flying up down the court like that, I mean, Jared Allen is pretty impressive to watch at 7 feet. He looks like a deer run up down the court just when he tomahawks or 2-hand just power slam dunks and blocking shots, and how fast he moves. He's nimble for a big center his size. And then you got a guy like Mobley who's wrapping it behind his back now, and that Knicks game and dunking it. And then you see that's running
confidence.
Sets for him where he's got the ball with his left hand coming off of a screen, dribbling with his left hand and finishing with his left hand. I mean, that's like that's nuts. I mean, it's crazy how athletic they are.
Right.
And that's like, and people say, well, yeah, it's the NBA and everybody's athletic, but not every team has this kind of athleticism. That's like, when you watch them, they're always a step ahead of everybody else.
He Humble said, how do you feel after the 2 weeks of George Niang gone?
Feel
good.
Been great. DeAndre Hunter, I forgot George was even here.
I
I
think
mean,
no, I do think the Yankees. If I'm not mistaken, I think he averaging about 15 right now with Atlanta. I might be wrong, but
well, yeah, he's gonna get
yeah,
a when you he's gonna get. I bet you. What's his
I'm
strength?
happy
Well,
for the Yankees.
no, he's a nice guy, and I know
I'm
people in the
happy for
media
him.
liked him because he worked with a lot of people in the media, and he's a nice guy. He will have a nice career in media too after he's done playing. But is he DeAndre Hunter? No, we're not running Deane and curl cuts, and he's too slow to get to the post probably from the corner. And uh, yeah, I'm real happy with DeAndre Hunter.
Hey, what do you think about this comment right here, Joseph? What
Yeah,
Grasshopper said.
I think Josh Hart got off because Brunson was. We didn't have anybody to throw at Brunson for 48 minutes. It was Isaac Okoro here and there, but you can't keep one guy on him the whole game because he's got to rest or he's going to get tired. So I think now,
And his offense, him being a liability.
yeah, I mean when he wasn't out there, it was Chetty Osman. Yeah, Chetty Osman guarding a player like
Oh yeah, I cook Jetty, man. I love
yeah,
Jetty, but I had to cook Jetty. Like
yeah. I
when I
mean
tell
Chetty
him
Osman is no
playoffs, cook him.
matchup for Jalen Brunson. Um, And then when he wasn't on him, it was Garland, who obviously they're the starting point guards, but Garland's not the best defender and he's smaller.
Mm.
And then I can't remember who else they had on him at the time. Oh, it was Karis LeVert. I went back and watched it. Karis LeVert,
Mm.
who he's bigger, but he's not a great defender. He's okay, but he's not a.
He tries.
He tries, but it's not when he's but you don't want that though, because you want Karis to be put more emphasis on the offensive end. That's why you bring him out there. You score buckets. He got tired of that series. Everybody got tired. They got beat down. They got tired because they had no energy. They had to work so hard defensively because they didn't have the right personnel in the matchups. And then the offense itself, even when they tried to go, get some buckets, the offense was not good in terms of utilization of players. Put them in the right skill set or right spots that maximize their skill sets, and the whole thing. So, yeah, I mean, he killed us. I think they were just more physical than us. They were much more imposing than us. And I think the matchup favored them that year. I don't see that now. Now you're throwing Ty Jerome 6'5" on him. Now you got DeAndre Hunter with that 7'2" wingspan. You can throw him on Hart or
We got options.
Brunson. I mean, you got options. Yeah.
We got options.
And they're just better. I think they're better defensively just off the ball, too. I mean, Donovan Mitchell's has become a much better off the ball defender this year, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's getting the hand in the passing lanes, the way he's jumping, he's so athletic. The way he's jumping passes. I'm curious how many steals he has amongst everybody in the league this year.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I turn on a game, I see him jumping passes, taking all the way coast to coast.
He got that wingspan.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually the whole team has developed. Just their off the ball defense is a lot better, I think, and that just comes with chemistry because 80% of defense is effort and communication.
And that's what Kenny Axon was talking about too, man. He's been talking about communication with this team as far as the bigs being more community having better communication out there because you need your big man out there to communicate on that defensive end. And he said he want guys like Jared Allen because we know Jared Allen and Mobley, they might not be the loudest guys, right? They character, but he's just talking about Jared Allen and Mobley being better on that end, man, because we're gonna need it. He don't expect them to be like Draymond, but he just comparing them to what Draymond Green
they're the
does.
back line. They gotta talk. They see everything.
Right.
But bad teams play in silence. Good teams, they're always talking. They're always communicating. They're always, if you watch a bad team, like if you go watch any bad team in the NBA right now, any bad team in sport, any team sport where the team's not like, especially football and basketball. Well, they're not communicating out there on the field or out there on the court. They're not a good team because everybody's just freelancing, not knowing what the hell's going on. You're getting foul trouble because you're late on rotations because your back line's not talking. I mean, there's a lot of different things, and just the chemistry's not as good. But they communicate at a high level. You could tell. A lot of it's just their chemistry off the court. I mean, I don't know if I've seen a team. I don't know if I've ever seen a Cavs team this close outside of this. I mean, I don't even know if the 16 team was this close.
As far as
they won. Maybe they won, but I don't think everybody was like this. This is like
you talking about chemistry wise?
Just chemistry on and off the court.
Oh yeah. I agree. I think
The 16 team,
Yeah,
it's easy to be kumbaya when you win the championship, but it wasn't
right.
kumbaya
Winning
before that. It was a
everything.
lot of like, meeting LeBron and
Yeah.
Kevin Love's got to meet each other in a gazebo out in was it Bahamas or something. They got to go. Or remember that they had to meet poolside and talk
Hmm.
about things and all. That's not going on here.
Not
Uh,
no subliminals, no
yeah,
tweet.
no
Yeah, I
taking
think I agree with you.
shots and yeah, I'm trading you if you don't play better. Blah,
From 1 through 15, this team it just seems like it's perfect. It's no egos. Nobody's
And
stepping on nobody's toes.
you know how when that fight happened the other night with
Hmm.
in the Memphis game. You know who
Oh,
was out
Donovan,
there?
yeah.
You know who was out there getting ready to like square up on
Imani,
something? Imani
Imani
Bates
Bates.
in a
Yeah,
cane and street
I
clothes.
loved it.
He's like,
I
oh my
loved it.
God, like I was sitting there like I was on the phone with somebody and I was watching the game and I'm like, damn. First the fight, it was crazy. I haven't
Yeah,
seen a fight like that in a hot minute.
Imani. That's the guys you want on your team. Two-way contract players. That's the guys you want on your team, man.
Yeah, I mean, Imani's out there like getting ready to like, hey man, like that's my dude. Like that doesn't happen on every other team. A
Yeah,
lot of other
Imani had
teams,
situations in the G League. He even had some incidents, right? But
yeah,
yeah, I
he's a
like that.
scrap. He's a hard nosed player. I like
You know,
Imani though.
who he's talking about the other day. And your pops like Tristan Thompson, man. I know what you said about him, but he was front line.
He was though. And I expect that from him.
Yeah, he was front line. Having a guy like that, I think it's important. Having regardless of how you feel about mentorship, just having a guy that you can say enforcer that we really don't have much of on this team.
No, well, I mean, we always crack jokes on Tristan because he is a
Yeah.
fun. Tristan gives you just so many easy things to joke about. He's just like a walking meme. But
Nah, for
no,
real.
and it's all serious now. He does bring value because of his championship experience. He loves the city. He's bought into Cleveland. And that's what you want. You want somebody that believes in what you're doing. Has championship experience. The guys in the locker room probably love him because Christian's like he's older, but he's a very youthful guy. So he gets along with all these guys, and so yeah, I mean, you definitely want that. And he's the front line. He's the first one there. Um, now do I think he should have dunked the ball at the end of that one game? Probably not, but he says he didn't. He thought it was disrespectful that they were full court pressing still. So I
Yeah.
don't know if that's like a written rule too, but I don't know. I mean, is it the end of the world? No,
It
but
happened.
I just didn't want anything. I don't want any bad look, any stain on this team because
I get it.
they don't deserve that.
I totally get you. Humble says someone said if Allen starts knocking down threes, we have the best lineup in the NBA for years to come. Um,
I don't think he needs to knock down three. I think they already had the best lineup for years to come.
I mean, if he starts knocking down threes,
Well, if he
hey,
starts knocking down threes, they might as well just go and give us the championship.
right? I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I mean Boston, they probably they might forfeit the game, but no. But I think they already had the best five for years to come with DeAndre Hunter now.
Grasshopper said, "Good show, guys. Enjoy listening. Yeah, appreciate you, Grasshopper. Oh, Grasshopper, make sure you sub to Joseph too, man. Joseph is a Cleveland content creator. Um, I'll put his band up in a few, but yeah, sub to Joseph too. Great content creator. I think Grasshopper from Ohio. I think.
If he's a Browns fan, can definitely come join because I'll be cooking later today, probably on the Browns.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I'm tuning. I'm definitely tuning. DFJ watching the second season. Like, yeah, I feel bad for DFJ, man. Shout out to DFJ, man. It's hard being a Sixers fan right now, but
Well, I mean, the Eagles won the Super Bowl, so they'll be all right.
yeah, that make up for the crappy season.
Yeah, I mean,
The
your Eagles
Sixers
won. They should be all right.
Shout out to Bates. He said Imani would have folded. Imani would have folded like a napkin. No, Imani would have been.
I don't know, man. He's from
Hey, Imani got look. Imani been in the gym, man. He always in the gym, so
he's from Saginaw. He's from somewhere in
yeah,
Michigan.
Michigan,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, man, he's not afraid.
I know they looking at Imani's side, but Imani been working out. He been in the gym. Tristan just wants away from the Kardashians. I forgot about the Kardashians. Tristan
Yeah,
Kardashian.
that was a disaster.
Tristan was home versus Raptors. Humble said, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to look weak in his home country.
Yeah, he got booted. Like he did it in his own country. It's crazy.
Yeah, he had to double down. He probably knew he messed up. And then when they started squaring up on him or confronting him about it, he's like, "Well, I can't back down to these guys."
We got somebody in the building, Joseph. Let me add Humble.
Uh-oh.
Humble is faithful Cavs fan. Let me
Humble's
add
the
him.
man.
Shout out to Humble. It's good, Humble.
Yo, fellas.
Humble, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? I was about to say something. You know what would be crazy, fellas? If the NBA Finals was the Lakers versus the Cavs. You know how much watch that'd be? LeBron
Yeah,
versus his
that's a
old
fantasy.
teammates.
Yeah.
His old team, I meant. I
Yeah,
want
LeBron
that so
versus the
badly right
Cavs.
now.
I don't know how. I don't know. I mean, I know people talking about the Lakers now because now that people are trying to buy stock on them with Luca. I don't know, man. The West is interesting, man. I don't know who's gonna come out the West. I still like OKC and I like the Mavericks when they get healthy, of course. Uh, I don't know
I think they still lack size down low in a 7-game series.
for who. For who?
The Lakers.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Lakers. Okay.
I think
probably.
if they run into because they could actually play. They could play Denver.
Mhm.
Even Houston's got some bigs. I mean,
I'm not. Yeah, but Houston is like
It's on the
the only thing with
decline
Houston
right
is the
now.
experience. But that I have a Houston. I think they're gonna be solid next year. Like they have
yeah.
everything over there.
I'm just saying in certain matchups, I think.
Right.
No, I like what they're doing. I mean, Luca and LeBron are just carving up teams left and right. But
And we don't get to face them the rest of the season, do we? We already
no,
faced them.
we
That's what
played
I'm
them early.
saying, yeah.
I don't know if LeBron would want that though, because if he lost to the Cavs,
Oh
That'd be
man,
awesome, Joe.
I,
That'd be
it would be
amazing.
awesome for us. But
I
for
can't.
him in terms of his
Yeah.
legacy, I mean, we know his legacy already. But that would be,
To lose to the Cavs, your old team.
yeah, that would be. Uh,
And then
I don't know.
remember, Joe, Luca just went to the finals last year, man.
Uh huh.
He's emotional. He got traded, bro. He's got something to fight for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he is.
hey, there's other teams out there, man. I still like OKC. You know, they had. I feel like OKC check most of the boxes for me when it comes to having what you need in the playoffs.
Oh, for sure.
Well, when I watched that game the other night too, if AD was out there playing, that might have been a totally different game. Because all the Lakers did was just attack the basket, and then Dallas
Hmm.
had nobody back there because
Yeah, they don't have no bigs.
they're so hurt right now. But on the
Right.
Right.
perimeter, defensively, and the Lakers defensively on the perimeter for the Lakers, they were getting cooked. I mean, they're not. Luka's not the best defender. He's gotten a little better this
No,
year,
yeah.
but and LeBron's he's just plays in the back end and just rotates. But sometimes he doesn't rotate because he doesn't want to feel like going over there. So
Hmm.
I don't know if they have enough time and enough pieces yet to really make it that far this year. But I mean, I think they'll win a lot of games. They'll make the playoffs, obviously, but I don't know if they'll make it that far. I think if they run into a matchup in the second round where they don't have those two will play well, but they don't have the rest of the assets they need around them. I don't know.
No, I hear where you're coming from. I hear you. I'm just thinking on what if, because Luca's magic. You know what I'm
That
saying?
is a what if. Yes.
In that matchup, I'd probably still pick the Cavs in that matchup. To be honest with you.
Oh
'Cause I
yeah,
think
yeah.
our
Oh,
guards would
for
attack
sure.
Luka because I would just say
Yeah.
we're just going to attack you, Luka. Attack. He's going to get in foul trouble, or you're going to tire him out. LeBron is 40. I know he hasn't shown any decline, but I mean,
Right.
we got when you got those athletic bigs out there, they're going to be moving around. He's going to have to put some energy on.
Who was
on the
giving them
defensive end.
problems already with AD.
Right? So I would still favor the Cavs in that match, and plus the Cavs are just a better shooting team overall. The Lakers they've always been hit and miss. One night they look great. They look like the best three shooting team in the league. Then the next night they look like the worst 3-point shooting team in the league.
It seems they're
So
better at home.
yeah,
Yeah.
which when they played on the road in the playoffs outside of the bubble hasn't been
Right.
great outside of
Right.
that Memphis series last year. That's the only series where they've looked okay, but hasn't been great.
No, yeah. I'm excited for the playoffs, fellas. I really am. I know we got to finish a couple more games, but damn it, I'm ready.
Well,
Grasshoppers.
humble. How do you feel about Boston coming? We got Boston
Oh
next.
yeah, no. Is it today or is it tomorrow? I can't remember.
Tomorrow night at
Tomorrow
7:30
night.
ESPN.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. That's a big game. We got to win them at home in the
That's
Garden.
probably accurate right there, Grasshopper. I would say I agree with that. And now I saw Kim Kardashian tried shooting her shot at him too. So
Oh man,
Wow.
if that happens, I mean,
it's over.
it's over. His career's done.
Another
Another
what's that
victim.
one dude's name?
Yeah, it'd just be another victim.
Don't get distracted in LA, Luka.
I'm sure LeBron's probably got him on house arrest, but he's
Yeah,
not playing.
LeBron.
He's got an ankle monitor on.
Yeah, you are not leaving your house. Got it?
Strict parent.
You come to
Very
practice.
strict.
You come play
Strictly practice,
basketball.
go home.
Right.
Yeah,
You go
game
home.
time.
You go home, and that's it. Get 6 to 8 hours sleep tonight. Eat well. No more beer. We got to win this game.
Right.
Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys both this question before I head out. Do y'all think that Jimmy Butler in the playoffs is gonna be anything wild? Anything that we should be worried about?
I don't think we got to worry about it. He in the West.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, do you think like he's gonna be like, you know what I'm saying, like show up type of thing? Because
No,
I mean, it's a new
I
team
think
and
so.
everything.
Jimmy Butler in the playoffs is a monster.
That's what I'm saying.
I believe in playoff Jimmy. Me personally, I think he'll show up.
Yeah.
Playoff Jimmy is a monster.
Okay.
Well, they got shooting too. I mean, you know what
Right.
Steph's gonna do. You know what Draymond
Steph
is.
looks like he's freed up with Jimmy
Yeah.
on the team.
That could be a matchup the Lakers don't want to see either.
Right.
Because Draymond down low, he can. He's older, but I don't know if anybody the Lakers have anybody down low that will out rebound him.
Right.
I don't see it. So, and LeBron you would have to put LeBron on Jimmy, I would think. I don't know who else they put. Maybe Rui, or you could put Jimmy on LeBron.
We got DFS over there.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough matchup. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you put Jimmy on LeBron, at least helps. Makes him. He's gonna make him work. I'd be curious by that matchup. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still, I'm still diehard Cavs. I just been watching around the league. Things have been crazy, man. I'm happy, man. Go Cavs,
Hey man, I don't see no. It's only 2 teams or 3 teams that I could see, right? But this Cavs
Could you
team is
list
too
those
good.
teams real quick, Tom?
Oh, that I think is something.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Boston.
Okay.
That's
I mean, that's
our
first and
threat.
foremost. Yeah.
Right, we gotta handle business with them. OKC, I think is a real thing. I think
Okay.
I know they just got to the playoffs, but I really believe in they depth and the guys they got over there with Chat and having Isaiah Hartenstein, who was a big time player with New York, who gave us problems. Having another playmaker over there, another playmaker big, who play next to Chat
Yeah.
and good on defense. I think OKC. They have Shed. You gotta have that guy too. They got the guy over there too. And who's the other team? I said the Celtics, OKC, and I still think the Mavs.
Oh wow. I didn't
I'll say
expect
a
that.
healthy Mavs team though, but that's an if. That's a healthy
But
Mavs with AD coming back and live.
is he coming back?
I think he'll be back by
Okay.
playoffs or something like that.
I would say Boston, obviously, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
OKC, I think, is definitely up there. I'm curious to see how. Well, I don't know. Milwaukee, they have the size.
Joe,
You got-
Milwaukee?
Well, I just look at you got Giannis and Dame. I mean, those two alone,
Okay.
you always got to worry about. Bobby Portis, is he out?
He's suspended for
suspended. I seen that too.
a couple
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, so he's
25 games,
suspended.
something like that.
I don't. I mean, I think Milwaukee has the bigs to match us in terms of just Giannis, Kuzma.
And we got it over here to match
I
them.
forgot about that.
You know, what I mean, they got a lot of big, taller guys that could really score and play two ways. But I think they're just too inconsistent. I don't trust Doc Rivers in the playoffs.
I was gonna say that's my first and foremost Doc Rivers.
Yeah, I mean that Kenny Axton would probably put on a clinic right there.
Kenny,
Kenny Axton would probably be drooling walking out of the locker room playing him.
Yeah, man.
I mean, Doc had the one great year. I mean, he had that 1 year with the Clippers where he took that young team.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's good at. When he has no expectations,
31.
he's a Hall of Fame coach. But when he's got expectations, I don't know what it is. I think it just hasn't been the same. But I know that it's weird. I know Denver lost the other night to the Lakers, but they bounced back, beat the Pacers. But anytime you go against Jokic, I think it's a problem. It's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, them are the best. I mean, Jokic, best big in the league, man. Been the best.
I would
like
probably say Boston, OKC. I would probably put Denver as my third just because of Jokic, because
Okay.
that would be interesting. But I don't know. But I think we have the 2 7-footers to contain him, or at least give him.
I got a team for you. What about this? The only team that I don't really see nobody else. I have one more team. What about Memphis?
And then we just beat them though too.
We did. It was a tough game.
It was a close game. Yeah, you're right. It was a close game.
But
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. I like that. I just think they're too. I don't know if I trust them enough. I think they're a little
Mhm.
streaky at times.
They're unexperienced with Zach
Yeah.
Edey's.
They're
He's still getting into the
unexperienced.
league. I think they're a
Uh,
little bit smaller than
They
him.
had pretty much the same team.
Jared Jackson's a dog. I love his game. During
Yeah,
I
that
think
I
they
beginning,
have
hope
the
Evans get DPOY
guys at the
over him.
top in terms of Jackson and Morant. But when you watch that game the other night, because I broke it down
Mhm.
on the film, they don't have the depth that we
no.
have. They once they put Scottie Pippen Jr. was guarding DeAndre Hunter. DeAndre Hunter literally took the ball up the court and just shot it right over him. He's only 6'1".
Yeah,
They don't
he's
have the
a
Right.
depth.
guard.
I think you have to have bigger guys that really match up with us now because of what we have. And our front line is 6'8", 7'2" wingspan, 7 foot, 7 foot.
It's ridiculous.
And then you have 2 all-star guards that can go off for 40, 50 points any night. So and then if you put Mobley at the 5, you can run all these different lineups, and now you can really open up the lane and really attack these smaller these smaller matchups when you have bigger guys out there. I just don't think teams don't have the depth we have. And even Dean Wade, he's still 6'8",
Oh my God, I forgot about Dean
6'9".
Wade.
He's like
coming off the
6'9",
bench.
man.
That's what I'm
And he
saying.
could-
You're right about Joe. You're right. We just got depth.
Yeah, I mean,
Man,
I could put Mobley at the 5, and Mobley could be a playmaking 5, which we were using him as. And a lot of the lineups still put Dean Wade at the 4 because it's still 6'8", 6'9", but he could shoot. You can't leave him
Right.
open. And the Cavs could do so many things.
and throw DeAndre Hunter in there.
DeAndre Hunter's, and they have so many options and so many pieces. It's like Kenny Atkinson just sits back every night, just like, oh, I'm gonna go with this tonight, and it's gonna work.
Right.
It's
Kenny Atkinson
unbelievable.
deserved this, man. He deserved to have a team like this, man.
Yeah.
I mean, when I
Great
watched
coach.
him, when I actually broke down the film and watched him, and when I was breaking it down because you watch him more intently, I'm like, man,
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody's gonna beat these guys this year.
Right.
Because even Boston, I don't think Boston has the depth we have.
They don't, but
They're
Boston
the
has
top
got
is
the talent.
tremendous.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Chemistry's
top
crazy.
is the chemistry in the top and the coaching is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, in certain matchups for 7-game series, I mean, you have to play perfect basketball on both ends to really beat this Cavs team for 4 games.
yeah, perfect
I
basketball.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And you can't turn the ball over either, or they're going to make you pay at the other end.
And I want to apologize to you, Toon, because at the beginning of the season I said we still got to watch out for the Magic. Man, we don't got to.
Oh, you did? You said that?
Yeah, I did. I did
Oh,
say
silly.
that.
That's so silly, humble. Why would you say
I
something?
I
don't
thought
know.
that'd be a
We went
better
to game
game the other
7 with
night.
I don't know.
Oh man, it's level. It's they not at the same table, bro.
Nah.
It's just
I thought that'd be a
Okay,
better
well-
game the other night. I turned it on at second quarter. I was like, damn, this is a mopping already. I turned it right
it
off.
was domination, bro. Like they do not belong in the same. And the Magic is good, but they're just not in the same conversation.
Yeah, I
Even
thought I was
with
gonna.
Jalen
I got my
Suggs.
dinner. I thought I was gonna sit down. I was hurry up to get in front of the TV and watch it. I turn it on after like 5 minutes. I gotta go. I'm like, I gotta go running some errands. I'm gonna go wash the car and run to
Yeah,
the store.
man.
You know what I mean? Just
It's
turn the
one of
game
them
off.
games.
No,
I got a Detroit fan though. He's
that's
like,
what I'm saying, Joe.
he's slowly saying, he's like, what if we upset you guys in the playoffs? I'm like, dude, we got a better shot at the Browns winning the Super Bowl next year than you guys beating us.
hey,
Stop it.
Joseph. Hey, Joseph.
Yeah.
Tell you if you're a Detroit friend, man. Tell him this, man.
So then, now, when does crack? Now, so the cocaine's happening. When does that crack come into play for you? So then,
Y'all smoking crack. Something is wrong with you people. What the hell is
Detroit don't stand a chance, man.
Now he did. To be fair, his name's Gerg. Shout out to Gerg. Gerg said he was.
Shout out
He
to
said he
him.
was somewhat joking. He was joking,
Okay.
but I think the more they after last night, I think he's gonna get a little more confident. I know you, Gerg. You're listening. Gerg. I know you're gonna get more confident, and you're gonna say, I know how you are. You're gonna say, I don't think they're gonna win, but I'm just telling you, it's not gonna be easy. I know where it's heading.
That's fair, man. That's fair.
That's fair.
That's
But
fair.
But he didn't tell me he was joking at first. I thought he was serious. And I sent him back a text and I said, Are you okay? Like we were in a group chat and the other guy sits up too, like, that's nice stream, buddy. But it's not
Detroit's just
reality.
happy they got winning basketball back, man.
No, yeah, and they're looking pretty good. I like that
Bro,
team. I like what JB's
That
doing.
team is amazing. Cade Cunningham should have been an all-star or Tyler Hero. He's a
Mhm.
double-double machine, and Jalen Duren is a hell of a player. That's just a great combo. Team.
Kate did make the All-Star, right?
No, he didn't.
He didn't
No, he
make the
didn't.
All-Star?
No,
You
he didn't.
sure?
I'm sure.
That should
Humble,
be a
you sure? I
crime.
thought Cade made
I'm
the All-Star. You
I'm
sure?
sure. I'm sure because Shaq even said
Wow.
he should have been all-star.
I didn't know he was. That's a
I'm sure.
misdemeanor.
You could look it
I
up
know,
too.
I know, I know. I know Trey Young came. Trey Young was a replacement.
He should be over Trey Young.
Let me check it, but I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did Trey Young get the nod over him? His
Well,
team.
Trey is having, his assists, and I mean his efficiency is not crazy, but I guess I'm leading an assist.
I get it, but
I
I
guess.
Kate Cunningham is the man, right? I mean, he's got his team. They're not even in the play-in. They're in the legit
Yeah,
in the
playoffs.
playoffs. I mean, you got to
Yeah.
give. And I maybe I'd be a bad voter. I kind of think where you come from matters, like where they started. I mean, this team last year was the absolute dumpster fire of the NBA. It was basketball Siberia in Detroit, and look where he has them now. And he's averaging 10. He's averaging 25 and damn near 10 assists.
Cade was a reserved all-star.
He was All-Star, right?
Reserved though. Does that mean he played though? Doesn't that
He
mean
made the All-Star team.
But did they
I thought
give
that just
the
means he
Trey
gets the
play
call if
over
someone
him?
got injured.
Yeah, did Trey play over him? Because I would have Cade over Trey.
Oh, easily.
Right. That's what I'm
Easily.
saying. How did Trey Young get the nod to go play? But he got to sit at home. I mean, he didn't miss out on much. It was a terrible All-Star game, but
But just the honor.
yeah, he's probably thinking, gee, I didn't miss that much anyways. I get a free vacation. But yeah, I mean, I don't. He should have got the nod, in my opinion.
Fellas, keep doing what you're doing. I gotta go. Appreciate y'all.
Salute to you, brother.
Appreciate you, Humble. Appreciate you. Let's call it. Yeah, Grasshopper. Yeah, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, man. I'm sorry. I guess he talk about Boston.
Yeah,
I
I didn't watch the game, but I saw they beat him, and I was like, but I first thing I thought I thought I was gonna get a text from my guy again. He didn't text me though, saying, "Oh, just be ready, we're coming."
all I saw was Jason Tatum getting dropped. I saw that.
Yeah, I did see that. That was
I said, "Oh yeah, they about to cook, bro. Yeah, they about to you about to go viral." I was like, "Wow."
so Boston. They're 42-17. That's 6.5 games behind us. I think we're definitely getting home court for sure.
Oh no, for sure. I think
Uh,
we should continue to handle our business, man. Yeah, yeah. So that's what. Yeah, talk about that real quick, cause I'm gonna I'm about to shut it down soon,
yeah.
Joseph.
Well, no, I
So
got you. Yeah, we'll wrap up. I would think the Cavs, in terms compared to Boston this year, I think Boston, they won the chip, they got the monkey off their back. And I mentioned this the last time I was up here. The day we did the Rack to the Hunter trade.
mhm.
Boston, they got the chip. Those guys now, Tatum and Brown, they're already in Boston. They're already gonna be Boston legends forever. They'll get their jerseys retired. It's just like when Garnett and Pierce and Allen went to there. They had to win just one. You win one, you're in the Raptors. You know what I mean? So those guys have already done that. When you look at their team coming up, the reason why the owner's selling that team because they have a $400+ million bill coming up this summer. They're not gonna be able to afford that team. I don't care if you're in Boston. That's big money city, but even in Boston, that's a lot of money. So I think, and he put it right there. He said, "Fat cats lost hunger." Yeah. So I think we're gonna be the hungrier team. I think the Caps have just been the more consistent, more dominant team all year. I think Boston's in a tricky place. It's so hard. I don't think people really understand how hard it is not only just to win a championship, but to go back to back. It's so hard.
In
It
this
takes a
area,
lot
yeah.
of luck. It takes a lot of it's a lot of luck and a lot of. I mean, you look at the teams that have done it in the history of NBA. They all had first ballot Hall of Famers on their team. If you think of Shaq and Kobe, that's two arguably the top 5.
Repeat, yeah.
It's very rare, and it's very I mean, it's not like remember when Denver won 2 years ago? Everybody was saying, who's going to beat this team? Who's going to stop Jokic in 7 games? And then they didn't. You saw last year. Well, they didn't make it back there. You know what I mean? So, it's so hard. And I think the Cavs just when I look at the team like Boston, how we're playing this year, Boston was that team last year. You know what I mean? Boat riding everybody all through the season. They look at the most dominant, most consistent team. That's what the Cavs are this year. That's what Golden State was the years they won. That's why I think the Cavs right now, they are clearly the best team in basketball to me. I know OKC is playing really well and all that, but I just think the Cavs, I don't know. I just think the Cavs have a little something different. Personally, I think the Cavs have more firepower come postseason than OKC because OKC then they got great players. They got Chet, they got Jalen Williams, but I don't think Chet's better than Mobley, and I don't think Jalen Williams is better than Darius Garland. So, and I think SGA and
I
SGA is
think Darius
probably
top
better
10
than.
point guard.
I mean, some people probably SGA would you could probably say is better than Donovan, but it's not like it's by much. I mean, Donovan's not some slouch.
Yeah, but then I'll probably push back. I'll probably take Donovan over SGA, man. I'll
Yeah,
probably.
but I mean,
I
I think
think
when you
Donovan.
look at the matchups, I still like the Cavs. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
Donovan could. I think Donovan. Me personally, I'm a Donovan guy. I think Donovan and Tatum is the same tier. Tatum was a great player, but I think Donovan
Yeah,
is just as good as Jason Tatum.
I
I
think
know they not
SGA has
want
to
to say
do
that
more
though.
for his team. Donovan does, which I think that might favor Donovan more in the playoffs. You know, what I mean, I think
I like to see I value playoff success also.
like OKC. I don't think they're a guarantee to get out of the, and nobody is guaranteed to get out of the East or the West. But I don't.
Yeah,
They could run into a match. What if they run into Dallas? They could lose that series. I mean, because SGA he's asked more than Donovan is. Donovan just his number one his number one thing every night, go out and this is how many points you need for you this night.
hmm
You got a guy in Darius who can go out and drop 10 assists. You got Mobley and Allen down low and take care of all the rebounds in the interior. You got a Swiss Army knife and Hunter. You got Ty Jerome. You got this guy. You got this guy. You know what I mean? You got everything you
yeah.
need.
It's probably the best team Don I've ever been on, for real.
Yeah,
Better than
SGA,
any
he's
two
got to
other
do a little
teams.
more. Now they have a great team around him. Don't get me wrong. OKC is a great team, but I don't know. I like this Cavs team a little more. And I like what Evan Mobley. And this is the last thing I'll say. I think what Evan Mobley said, how in 5 years I'm going to be the best player in the world. That
You
to
know,
me, that the confidence this team has right now, like I said, to beat them 4 times in 7 games, that's going to be a lot. It's going to take a lot. You got to play damn near perfect.
yeah, man.
He wouldn't have said that 2 years ago or last year. But
No,
that just
you
shows
no,
you, and he's a
it's
quiet
different.
guy. For him to come out and make that kind of statement like that
I
shows you the
like that.
confidence. All right, it shows you
Yeah,
the
it's
confidence in that
confidence.
locker room. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's confidence. And before you go, Joe, so I want to play you this quick audio, right? Of when I was talking to Ryan Hollins, man, former Cavalier, of course. I was able to ask him about Evan Mobley. Um, I just want you to let me just play it real quick for you, all right?
okay.
Let me see, right? Because I asked him what it is, and this was under this was last year. This was before Kenny Atkinson came. This was
Mm.
JB last year. I asked him this. Let me play it for you.
You like is like if you the Cavs or if you the head coach JB or whatever, how would you use Evan Mobley and make sure you get the best from him this season? Because Donovan and Darius, they the best players on the team, of course, best players on the floor. But do you think that Darius need to take a step back and Mobley become like the number two, and Darius does what he does and facilitate and all that good stuff?
I think Darius can take a step back. I think he has a type of game where he wants to feed his bigs. When he's on the floor, those guys play well. He's kind of the engine that kind of gives up. He's playing that Memphis Mike Conley role, so to speak. But I think for Mobley, his scoring, he's going to have to be effective. He's going to have to, be physically stronger. I think this is now when you maybe go from potential to, hey, we expect you to be in the 17 to 20-point range. So maybe it's not the three ball, but he's going to have to go out and get busy on the block. He's going to have to be effective. He's going to have to add some strength so that he can get to the foul line rather than getting pushed off the spot. But I'm excited to see what this third year leap looks like for him. If he adds that strength, if he, improves upon his scoring. When I saw him, he got a little stronger, got a little bit meaner. And if he can continue making those strides, man, he's scary. He's a guy that can be right behind Nikola Jokic for the best big in the league with his type of talent. So I think the sky's the limit, but I think that team again goes as far as he takes them. So I think it may not be the spacing, but I think he's going to have to be able to score and then also, defend the paint so that maybe there may be situations where Jared Allen may have to sit on the bench. But I thought it was intriguing. I'm sure you saw the news this offseason that, teams inquired, hey, let me get Jared Allen, man. Why don't you come off him?
So yeah, that's what he
Hmm.
had to say about Evan Mobley last year. He even bringing in Jokic, I was like, oh wow, I was like, yeah, that's interesting. Best player, best big behind Jokic. What do you think about that?
I think he's right because we're slowly seeing Mobley. I go back to the point I made about his playmaking. When you break down the film and how they're using him, and just a little simple dribble handoffs, and just how he's always the guy that has the ball in his hands at the top of the key when everybody else is doing cuts off the ball. You know what I mean? They got their actions going.
Hmm.
He's the guy that's been the Swiss Army knife, the guy that's been the engine, the guy that, and then he has the ability to take guys from the 3-point line off the dribble. Now you're seeing it finishing at the rim, or he can pull up in the paint with a little, whatever, little jump hook or whatever. He's got a bunch in his bag. But I think he's right because I don't think he'll ever be as good as a pass as Jokic. Jokic is a rare
Yeah,
pass,
it's not.
but I think he can have the same impact, and I think that's what he was referencing to.
Hmm.
And I get what he's. I totally agree with him because when you see Mobley's impact for a guy to be 7 feet tall, that athletic. Now, where Mobley makes up for it, though, where he can be equal to Jokic down the road if he becomes that great, is because his defensively, he's a Garnett type of defensive. That's why people compare him to Garnett.
Guard the
Defensively, he can lock down the whole
perimeter.
floor.
Yeah,
That's what Jokic, he's not a great. He's an okay defender when he needs to be, but he's not. Nobody views him as.
he's not Kevin
He ain't,
Garnett.
yeah, he ain't
Yeah,
Matumbo.
he ain't
You
Tim
know,
Duncan. Yeah, he
yeah,
ain't.
he, yeah, he's not Matumbo in Denver. He's
Right.
which is fine. It works for him, but that's where Mobley, to me, Mobley is the ultimate two-way player. I mean, he can control the entire game. It's very rare you get guys that could do that at that high of a level, at that size and athleticism.
Yeah, hey, yeah, I agree with you, man.
And I like the point he made too about Garland. When you have a point guard, and I
Mhm.
think when you have a point guard, Garland's one of the fastest players in the league. He's one of the quickest players. You remember what Draymond said, how hard he is the guard because he's so fast getting in the paint. I
Yep.
mean, how many assists does he have a night just dropping off to the dunker? Dropping, just drop off passes, drop it off. You could put a guy in a dunker every night at the dunker spot, and Jared Allen, he'll get 10 to 15 points a night just because you have him and Mitchell just so fast attacking, and even Mobley at times. How many times you see Mobley throwing an assist, a lob to Allen? That's big for big. I mean, that's like,
Mhm.
yeah, I like every point he made was excellent. I mean, obviously he knows he's a former NBA player, but
He touched on some good points about that, and that was last season. You know, when Evan didn't take the leap that we thought he was going to take, man. I think the leap that I was expecting is happening this year.
yeah,
What he's doing right now, man, and I think he even said, I think Ryan was even talking about how he could be like that AD type of play also, um, with LeBron.
oh yeah,
So it's just as he evolved, he definitely got tougher. He definitely, like you said, he's attacking. He's attacking the
yeah.
basketball, man. He's going at these guys. Like I did not see that his first 2 years really like that. Like he's actually going at these guys. Like he's not scared. Like
I've
he's
always
not
thought he
scared.
was. I've always thought he was Kevin Garnett with Tim Duncan's mannerisms.
Yeah, the I get you. Yeah,
That's
the
what he
person.
is. He's
Yeah,
Kevin
person.
Garnett. Now he has shown a little more feistiness this year at times. He gets
Mm-hmm.
into it, but he's more like a Tim Duncan manner. He's quiet, which I love. I think it fits our city well. You know what I mean? Just lunch pail, go to work every day. You know what I mean? And go home and
I,
dominate.
I'm cool with that. Mobley.
Yeah, as long as you go up there and put your numbers, and who cares what you do? You can go do anything you want. But
Exactly, man.
uh, yeah, that's what I've always thought he was. He was Garnett with. And my dad watched. I haven't got to see Mobley in person yet. My dad
Mhm.
watched Garnett in person up close a couple times.
Mhm.
I saw Garnett in person later on in Boston. My dad saw him early on in his career, and he saw Mobley in person. And he said there was some similar. He said even LeBron in high school was. We had season tickets to that when I was younger, and that was
Mhm.
obviously watching that. That was absolute. He's dunking all these future plumbers and but just to see a guy out there that in high school operate like that it's you'll never see it again. But he said Garnett in terms of NBA was the most impressive player he ever saw. He said he was like watching Machine out there. The way he was communicating defensively, like it was like watching Terminator playing basketball. It was like he said it was unbelievable. But he said when he watched Mobley in person, he saw some similarities just in terms of just a specimen and how he can just control the game on both ends, especially defensively. It's just that you see that long, tall guy jumping towards you, blocking your shot. It's so imposing. He's a special player. I hope people really appreciate what we're watching develop here because he's just getting started too.
I agree. I can't wait. And well, Mobley is super young, man. We got these guys not even entering their prime yet, so it should only get better from here, on out.
Right.
With his development, and I'm glad we trust in Mobley, with the ball more. I know
Right.
as said they put his development to the side,
Yeah,
and
and that was my whole complaint last year. We weren't the last 2 years. We weren't utilizing him
mhm,
properly.
we
There
wasn't.
would be certain times we put him at the high post, we put him at the nail, and he would do some of the things he's doing this year, and it worked. But
Hmm.
he wouldn't do it consistently. We would just have him stand out at the 3 point line and just watch everybody go 1-on-1. And that's not effective basketball. You know what I
That's
mean?
not winning basketball.
That's not. Yeah, and that's why we got. We only made it as far as we made it. So now this year you see. Yeah, Chloe was coaching because how does a team go from being that
Oh
was
yeah,
looked at as a 6 seed, maybe playing team, to they're the top team in basketball and they're gonna be around for years to come. They're the next Golden State possibly.
same roster,
Coaching.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely a coaching thing. Not to say JB is a bad coach, but it's definitely
No, but
a
JB is
different
good
coaching
for
style.
what he was good for. You know what I mean? Like Kenny Atkinson just took Golden State's philosophy and just brought it here.
I think I like one thing I like about Kenny Atkinson. He's not he's pretty blunt. He's pretty outspoken guy, man.
Oh yeah. He's from New York. He ain't holding back nothing.
He says that he takes, and that's what coaches do. But he takes everything he learned. Like every team he been around, it was from Ty Lue, Steve Kerr, Atlanta. Like he just takes what he from them coaches and takes what he learned and put it into his philosophy, man. Kenny Atkinson always say he's learning something.
And
He's taking and
he got
learning.
the raw deal in Brooklyn too.
He definitely did.
But he
Wasn't
was
his fault.
also, but people forget at one point though, he was a good enough coach for Kyrie and Kevin Durant to come join him.
Hmm.
He had that team, that Brooklyn team, that all in 19 coming off that season they had, the last 2 seasons. They were at a point where it's like, man, they had 2 superstars, which they did. You're like, man, this team could be around a long time. Now, I think the GM and there was a lot of politics outside of basketball that kind of ruined that whole thing. But uh, he had him good enough to bring those 2 guys in, and I think he got the raw deal. So,
Um, One more thing before I let you go, Joseph.
no, you're good.
How do you feel? I talked about him a little earlier. I don't think we talked about it really. How do you feel about the signing of Javante Green? And he did play against the Orlando. Was it Orlando? Yeah, he did play.
I think it's more just a depth thing on the perimeter. I think just he's
Hmm.
6'5", he can play 2 ways. He can defend a little bit. He's got athletic guy. I think it's more just a depth thing. I think he's more for the end of this regular season because I think they'll start to really dial back guys' minutes more. So
Hmm.
you still want a guy out there who can be effective. I think that's more for that. I don't know how much we'll see him in the playoffs really. Um, I think it's more just for just a extra piece on the wing on the perimeter. So you have a guy out there because they didn't really have that. Even because like if you think about it, if we start dialing back guys' minutes to save them for the playoffs as the season goes on, because we know
Hmm.
we're gonna be the number 1 seed probably. You still want a guy out there like that can be effective, and So I think it's probably just more for that. I think we may see it may signal that we may see some guys resting in certain games down the road that don't really matter, like especially in April, late March, early April. Because Kenny has made an emphasis of that he's really. I think our starters had one of the lowest minutes played the entire season.
Yes, he been doing a great job with the time management with this group,
Yeah,
like
I think it's more just
especially
a
with
depth.
Donovan.
It's an insurance policy, and it's more for uh, somebody we can throw out there.
Okoro getting hurt, Dean Wade, these
It's an
guys.
insurance policy, and also somebody who they need somebody. They probably need another piece for that. This back end of the season. Because, like I said, I expect them to start down minutes back a little even more.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's what I see. I thought maybe they'd add another big though, but I guess
Well, I, hey man, he
not
got
a
that
great
rough
market,
spot.
but yeah.
Hey, unless you want to give the kid Naquan Tomlin
Well, they're really
uh
high. I like that kid a lot too. I mean, he's not a 7. He's only 6'8" though, isn't he? I think he's not like a. He looks more like a wing, like a power forward, small forward. Like I thought they'd bring like another 7 footer in, but I mean the market's not great. So
well, some
um,
some people feel like maybe you sign one of them 2 week guys, get them a contract and give Naquan Tomlin a 2-way contract, put him on 2-way, get him on that 10-day.
Yeah.
Reward him, you know.
And the only reason why I want another big was because when Boston puts the lineup with Porzingis at the 4, Cornette at the 5, that's the only thing I'm thinking about because you're not going to play Mobley and Allen together. But if I'm the Cavs, though, I could just put somebody at the 4. I keep Mobley at the 5. Now I got Mobley going on Cornette, and that's barbecue chicken.
Yeah, them two bigs, you know.
I think the Cavs are thinking, well, they got to guard us. So, you know, is Luke Cornette going to hold Evan Mobley at the 5? Probably not for 4 games, for 7-game series. I mean, I remember that game last year. I think when Cornette was on, he had like 37 points.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, I think the Cavs are thinking. I think they want to keep those what I'm bringing up on the show is just about Mobley at the 5 because it gives them so many options and it plays more to their style. You know what I mean? So that's probably why. But
yeah, but I would. Yeah, I mean, I would like another big, just to have another big on a roster.
What happened to that guy we drafted and stashed from wherever he was from, like 3 years ago?
Who you talking about? Diop?
Diop, yeah. What happened? Khalifa Diop, whatever his
Khalifa
name was.
Diop.
What happened to that guy?
He was. See, I was covering. I was covering the summer league. I don't know what happened to Diop. He was on the summer league team and been with the team. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think he's I don't watch much of the G League games this year, but I don't know what happened to Diop. But yeah, we did have Diop. That was a center.
Yeah, he's
Diop.
right. Yeah, Luke Travers.
Yeah, we got Luke Travers on 2-way. We rewarded him. We gave
I
him
don't know what
2-way.
happened to that Diop guy. He looked okay. I thought. I mean, that's probably something they'll have to address in the draft. I think that's probably your best bet. Just go out and get a 7-footer athletic guy that can just play his role. You know. Not to cut you, but Grasshopper, did that just come out as we were live? Because it must have because I didn't see it. Because I'm covering the Browns, so I'm keeping up with all this like every minute.
Yeah, make sure you sub to Joseph Grasshopper.
Yeah, come sub because we'll be
gonna be talking Browns.
We'll be talking Browns maybe tonight or sometime in the next couple of days. We'll have my guys. We'll be live. He said, "Yeah, all right, I'll have to go check that out immediately." Then that's like breaking news. Then.
So. All right, so one more question before you go, Joseph. One more question, man.
Sure.
Since he brought it up, so what do you feel about the Browns? Like, who do you feel like the Browns should take?
Who do I think? What do I think they should do, or what I think they should do?
Cam.
I think they're going to take a quarterback. That's what and that's been pretty. People have been at the combine all week. Some people in pretty close situation, good inside, good insiders and stuff. And the feeling is they are going to take a quarterback. All the tea leaves are there. Now, do I think they should? I don't know because I think Miles' whole thing to me, I think Miles wants him to go out and get a Matt Stafford type of quarterback. I think that's what he's putting pressure on him. When he says we're not aligned, I think that's what he means. Because I think he feels, because how do you go from saying after the season, remember at the end of the season, Miles is saying we're closer than people think. How do you go from that and then a month later saying, basically, we're not closer than people think. We're not aligned. We're far away. That's basically what he's saying. We're not close to win a Super Bowl. I think in the meetings they told him we're taking a quarterback in this draft because they want the rookie deal, and I think they like Cam Ward or Shador. And I think Miles would probably prefer to go try to get a Matt Stafford and take a Travis Hunter at 2. Because if I get Matt Stafford, I'm taking Travis Hunter because now I got a weapon who I think is going to be. I think Travis Hunter is going to be all world. I think he's that great of a talent, that great of a prospect, and they said they're going to put him at wide receiver more. So,
wide receiver, cornerback, yeah.
And Matt Stafford's still a top 5 to 10. He's still arguably the best ball spinner in the NFL. So if I get Matt Stafford, I'm going to use him for probably 2 to 3 years. He's not going anywhere. He's still playing at a high level. Go get him a weapon. But I don't know how much the money, because they got the whole financial thing with Deshaun now, that contract. And it just it seems like they really want one of these quarterbacks in this draft. I think they really want to rate. I think they want somebody on a rookie deal, and I think they want to move on and kind of start over again and try to get that franchise guy. And I think Miles is probably thinking, like a lot of these guys, that's the reason why the GM came out there and said Nick Chubb's probably not coming back, because that window with that group with Miles, Nick, and everybody, that it's over. I mean, the Deshaun thing, they went all in on it and it blew up in their face. It didn't work. So it's probably over now. Now they're saying they're not trading Miles. I think they're playing hardball, but I'll say this. if it's true the Titans wanted Abdul Carter, or they're open to trading that pick. Abdul Carter now came out today. He might have to have surgery or whatever on a stress fracture. And Abdul Carter's a really good prospect, but I don't think he's Myles Garrett. Would you trade Myles Garrett for number 1 and maybe try to get another top 3 pick? So if you're taking Shador, let's say, why not go get Travis Hunter to pair with him? Why not keep them together? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Keep the
You have
together,
options. And if you have to trade Myles, which it's going to be very complicated because the money doesn't really financially, they can't trade him right now. He's not going to be traded. But I don't know if that could even work because I don't know if they can trade him even before the draft because of the money reasons. I think it's like June 1st or something. So I don't know. They're in a hot mess, but they created the hot mess. So, but they are definitely taking a quarterback. I'm 50-50. I think they're 50-50 too on who they like. I mean, they're both really close. One's better in some areas than the other, but I think the Jets are going to try to trade up to number 1 and try to get Shador. If that happens, then obviously we get Cam Ward. So it's a lot of different scenarios. It's so wide open right now where it can go. That's what makes it so fascinating too. And this is the most important offseason in Cleveland since 2018. So it's gonna be a hell of a ride.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what time are you going live today?
If we go live today, I'm not sure it'll be tonight, probably around 8 or 9. But I may save it to where I can have everybody on because we have a whole panel of guys and we get in the heated debates. It's very
I seen your panel. Yeah,
we love it. So there's a lot going on right now. We got a lot of takes. So it'll be sometime in the next couple days, maybe if no later than Sunday. So maybe Sunday night, probably not tomorrow night, obviously because the Cavs are on. So I'm thinking maybe tonight or maybe Sunday night. We'll figure it out though. But definitely stay tuned. Just tune in or subscribe and so you know when we're live because we go live, we go on for a little bit. We have it's pretty. We getting heated debates over there too, so it's pretty entertaining. But there's a lot to break down right now. So,
all right,
and I got to go watch this Miles stuff. So I got to go see what he said. So,
Grasshopper, make sure you tune in. Grasshopper still in here. Make sure you tune in.
So, but all right, brother. Well, great
right.
live, great show as always. I'll see you.
Hey man, I appreciate you. Appreciate you coming on, man. Great,
absolutely,
great
anytime
analysis as always.
So, all right, I'll see you later, brother.
All right, salute.
Take care.
All right, man. Yeah, Grasshopper. So make sure you subscribe to Joseph. His banner is up. Make sure you subscribe to him. For the Browns content and other Cleveland content. You'll catch me over there too. Appreciate you for coming through. Grasshopper, and I appreciate everybody for stopping through, man. I'll try to read every comment. But yeah, man, shout out to Humble and everybody, man. Shout out to Joseph, man. Big game coming up, Boston Celtics. Yup, absolutely. Make sure you tap in with Joseph, man. That's what we're just on. Great content creator, great Cleveland content creator. You want to talk sports or you want to talk about life, man, go tap in with Joseph, man. Good dude, man. But yeah, man, appreciate everybody coming through. Don't forget to like, comment, and even subscribe. It's free, obviously, man. I appreciate everybody who's gonna be tuning in on the playback, man. But yeah, man, that's been my time, man. But shout out to you, and y'all already know it's still wine and gold. 2 words, go Cavs.
No, I'm really just
No, for sure, man. 216 love, man. We going up. Hey, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm always tuning in. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm always tuning in.